Hello, hello. Welcome to this edition of the Cancer Coach Talks. I'm your host, Leslie Nance, and tonight, I'm so excited. I'm like talking too fast. Tonight, I have a very special guest with me. I'm going to bring her on in just a minute. We are live tonight here on Facebook. You might be watching this in a recording. Maybe you're watching it from my website or anystagecancer.com. Maybe you're watching from YouTube, The Cancer Coach over on YouTube. Maybe you're rewatching this in Facebook, wherever you are joining us to this broadcast. Thank you so much for being here. Again, my name is Leslie Nance. I am the Cancer Coach. I'm a certified holistic nutritionist, a certified holistic cancer coach, and coming up on 8-year cancer survivor, which is so exciting for me. So tonight I am going to introduce you to a woman that a lot of you know from this group, from our community here at Any Stage Cancer. And she's been in our rooms with us. She's been in the chat with you. I've shared her story a couple of times just at a high level of her healing her body. And her name is Jennifer. I call her Jenn. And I'm going to bring her on in just a second. Before we do that, I just want to say hi to a couple of people. Hello, hello. Hi, Laurel. Hi, Rosette. Hi, Diana. It's good to see you. Hi, Donna. Anne-Marie is here tonight. Dolly's here. Thank you so much. If you are here tonight and you do not leave a comment, I can't see that you're here. I can see the number of people here, but I can't see who is here. At the end of our interview or our talk, Jenn and I are just going to be talking like we always do, just having a conversation. But at the end, if you would like to leave a question or ask a question live, we would be happy to help you with that. So I'm going to have a very special offer tonight as well at the end of our sessions for those of you that may be interested in cancer coaching. After you hear Jennifer's story, you may be inspired to find the same kind of help that she did. And I'm going to leave a very special offer here tonight at the end of this broadcast. So without further ado, I would love to introduce you to Jennifer. Just a little background with Jennifer. Jennifer is a mom. She has stage 4 breast cancer. She's had it for she's been on this journey for quite a while, and I will let her share that information with you tonight. But Jennifer is probably I have a lot of really good examples for my clients that are cancer bosses. But when Jennifer came into the program, she truly took up the mantle of being a cancer boss and really made a declaration for herself that this was no longer going to be part of her present or her future, and that this was definitely going to be part of her past, and that cancer was not going to win. And she was already a badass when she came to me, and she has just leveled up with that. So I would love to introduce all of you to Jennifer. I'm going to pull her into the broadcast right now. We're going to be sharing a screen. Hello, hello, my good friend.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I know that there are a lot of people here that already know you from being in the group with us in the community here. So maybe you want to take a second and say hello.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
I'm inspiring to you.
I don't see how you could help but be inspiring, quite frankly. So I just want to encourage you as a listener tonight. I know sometimes hearing someone else's story can bring up anxiety. You might be really tempted to go, oh, bless her heart. That's like a total Texas thing. Bless her heart. God bless her. I'm praying for Jennifer. And that's great. Everybody needs all the prayers that they can get in any journey in their life and just daily life. But let me tell you that this is not a story where you're thinking, oh, poor Jennifer. This is a story where she has elevated what it means to manage this type of disease in one's life. And I'm so blessed and honored, and I'm not going to cry, darn it, to share her. I didn't bring any tissues in here. That was a mistake, to share her story with you tonight. So, Jennifer, just tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of your background, and tell us your story. Like, tell everybody how this all started for you.
Okay, I was diagnosed when I was 31 years old with a 5-month-old baby at home. I'm a registered nurse. I worked on an orthopedic unit. So I returned from maternity leave and I was having sternal pain every time I took a deep breath. So initially I thought, oh, I just pulled the muscle, pulling the patient. I've been on maternity leave for a while because I had a preemie and I was out on bed rest for a long time. But then as the days went on, then the pain started to spread across my left breast into my armpit. But at that point, I had already made an appointment with my medical doctor. But the night before I was going to see the medical doctor, I felt like this rock in my breast. So I went to see the medical doctor and she said, I don't care that you just had a baby. I don't care that you're pumping. You're going to get a mammogram, a biopsy, and an ultrasound. I want everything. I'm not taking any chances. So I said, okay.
That must have been terrifying for you to hear that.
And I really didn't think anything. We have no immediate family members with breast cancer, just my mother's aunts. All my grandfather's sisters have had breast cancer. Mm-hmm. So I went for the ultrasound, the mammo, and the radiologist was like, I'm going to be upfront with you. I think you have breast cancer. And I was like, this lady's off her rocker. So I went home and I
can hear you doing that too. Like, whatever, you're wrong.
I went home and I called my girlfriend, who's a radiology tech who works with this radiologist. And I was like, what do you know about this doctor? And she's like, oh, she's always on point. Like whatever she sees, like she's still brilliant. I'm like, well, let's hope she's wrong this time. We went for the biopsy. Then they had to go for the results. They say you have to come no matter what. We're not going to give any results over the phone. Mm-hmm. So they brought us into the room. I saw the team of oncologists leaving the room because it was a hospital I worked at in the past. So I recognized some of them. So I was like, oh man. So initially they said I had stage 2B breast cancer. Mm-hmm. So it was, I said, okay. I knew I was not going to get my treatment at that facility because I was working somewhere else at the time and insurance issues. I just needed to go where I worked.
Right.
So we went home. We had to, absorb.
Jenn, by the way, Jenn is an RN. That's what she does. So that's, yeah. So just so you know, she's a nurse. So yeah.
Had to absorb all this crazy information. Mm-hmm. Finally, meet with the oncology team in Hackensack, New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And she says, I do scans on all my patients. It doesn't matter if you're stage 0 or stage 4, because biopsy is not going to tell me if it metastasized. So I said, okay. I did a PET scan, a bone scan, and I was set up for my first day of chemo. Mm-hmm. When I arrived for my first day of chemo, the nurse practitioner gave me some results, but not all, and which I knew something was up because she said, with your first treatment, the doctor's going to come and go over the rest of the results. And my PET scan showed that I had a hot spot on my sternum, my hip, and my rib, meaning that cancer metastasized to those 3 areas. So for confirmation, she decided to do a sternal biopsy. So we did a sternal biopsy that tested positive. I was estrogen, progesterone positive, and HER2 positive. Mm-hmm. She said, I want you to not look at this as a death sentence. This is going to be a chronic condition.
Wow.
You're going to get through this. So I said, okay.
Yeah.
It was my baby's first Christmas. I thought I was never going to see a Christmas again. And she's 11 years old now. The hip and the rib went into remission.
Wait, let's back up there. Did you guys hear that? It was her baby's first Christmas, and her daughter, Alyssa, is 11 years old now. Just put that in your mindset as we go along here. So go ahead. So
we, after 3 months of treatment, which was every 3 weeks, I was on Herceptin and Herceptin, that's it. Zometa, I was on to keep the calcium in my bones, and Zoladex to put me into menopause. And I took a pill called Famara every day. So after 3 months, she said, I want to give you another PET scan. I said, okay. At that point, the hip and the rib had already gone into no evidence of disease. So we were only dealing with the sternum. Yeah. So as the years went on, she had to play with the medication here and there, but I was pretty much stable until last summer. I few different drugs where maybe the sternum looked like it was going to start to do something, so she changed the medication. But last June, she didn't like how it looked, and then the lymph nodes were lighting up on the scan, so she decided to go aggressively. Mm-hmm. So I started Taxol last June. I did 9 treatments of Taxol. She scanned me. There was no change. It's remained stable. There was no shrinkage, but no metastasis.
Yeah.
And she put me on.
And that was in the lymph nodes too, right? Like no change in anywhere. It was just stable. Right. Okay. Yeah.
And we went to a drug called Navalbene. She did a few treatments, scanned me again, no change. Shrinkage, no metastasis.
Yeah.
We went on to Cytoxin, methotrexate, 5-FU, scanned me again, no change. This cancer was really being stubborn. So thankfully, in December, a new drug was approved called Enhertu. Not many people across the nation are on it. And she was very excited, not really. She wanted to use the drug because it's very promising to women like me. Yeah. But before she started that drug, she biopsied my lymph node and it showed that the cells changed. Actually, I was estrogen progesterone positive. These cells showed that it was estrogen progesterone negative, but it was HER2 positive. So this drug works for HER2 metastatic patients. So I've been on this drug since February, and that's when I started with you.
Yeah.
I started my nutrition journey, and I just had a scan I just saw the doctor last week for my scan results, and all the lymph nodes in my neck have shrunk, and my sternum is stable.
Yay!
There's been marked improvement.
Yeah. So your story is so inspiring. One, because first of all, I really feel like you have your dream team of doctors, and that's one of the 5 principles, making sure that you have your dream team of doctors, people that you trust, people that are creative in your treatments, people that are working with you and not keeping you on drugs that are not effective. And your doctor definitely was that. And you recognized that in her, right? I mean, you knew that.
Yeah, the minute she sees something she doesn't like, she moves on to the next drug.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I did have radiation in 2015 to the sternum, but it was low dose radiation.
Yeah.
So it was localized.
How has it been like living with cancer this long?
Sometimes all the time I feel like I don't have cancer. Like I was working full time up until last June because I just didn't know how I was going to feel on the Taxol. I was going to lose my hair and it was going to compromise my immune system. Yeah. Just for safety measures, I decided to go on disability.
Yeah. And when you contacted me, what was happening? What was happening in the mindset? What kind of help were you looking for? Because it wasn't just me you hired at that point. You hired other practitioners to help you as well.
I started thinking about I probably need to really bunker down and change my diet, because I would say, okay, I'm not going to eat soy or anything. And then, I'll eat something out of, granola bar and I read the package and it had soy in it. And I'm like, damn it, just one piece of cake. So I was thinking that to myself. I never really said anything out loud where I thought my phone was listening to me. And all of a sudden on Facebook, your advertisement popped up on my Facebook page. And none of my friends have been your clients, so it's not like somebody shared your page. Right. Yeah. And then I said to my husband after I did some research, I think this is what we need to do. Like I wanna call Leslie and see if this is right for us.
Yeah. Yeah. I know our first phone call, we had a major connection. And I think all of you that are my clients that are here tonight know that that's the case. Like we suck into each other. It's like, well, you're doing this, right? Because I know I can help you. And I think one of the biggest transitions for you was learning about diet and what you could actually do. Was that surprising to you? Like you didn't have to cut out some of the things that you loved in life.
Right. It was easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be miserable and starving and I don't know what I thought, but it also helps that my husband's a chef.
No, that's true. That's true. So we have to qualify that. And he is not for hire, apparently, because I've already asked. So. She was showing me her dinner before she came on tonight. And I was like, what? That's not fair. So yeah. But he's worked with you in this process. He was gung-ho about changing diet.
Yes.
Yeah. That was he was telling you we need to do something different. Yeah. Yeah. So that part of it has been fairly easy for you. What about the mindset work? Has that been as easy to do?
In the beginning, it was tough. I couldn't turn my mind off to just imagine what I want to happen in my body. Mm-hmm. And as the weeks went on and I practice, and then with the recorded sessions that you provided, mm-hmm. it was much easier.
Yeah. I would say that you are definitely one of my favorite clients in the mindset department, because it's you you struggled with the mindset. You were like, I don't want to, you didn't really want to do a lot of it. You were like, I don't want to do that. I don't know about that. But then when you said, I'm committed, I'm going to do it, and you did the work, watching you transform your mindset from, oh my gosh, what is happening to me? Everything's been going along pretty well. And now this new, and we're going to talk about something else tonight as well that's happened physically to you, and kind of being backed up against a corner. And how do I get myself out of that corner to keep moving forward? And to watch you transition and transform into that, it was like really, really powerful to say, this is my truth. Like, this is what I'm going to do. And wouldn't you say it's not about forgetting that you have cancer or ignoring even that you have cancer. It's about living your life around it.
Right. You can't let the cancer control your life.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've always done a good job, but it sounds like in June that was like, oh, I don't know about this, as it felt more dangerous.
Yeah, like my coworkers where I was currently working, I was only working there 3 years. So not some of them, they didn't know my story. I wasn't going to be like, hey, by the way, I have cancer,
Right.
Once they got to know me and they knew my story, they were like, we can't believe it. Like, we look at you and you never complain. You never call out. You're always the team player. You're never tired. Like, cause I work nights.
Yeah.
You always pitch in. And then, you have Joe Schmo with the stub toe that doesn't want to lift a finger.
We're not pointing fingers or anything. But yeah. Yeah. I mean, but that's just, you have that nature. You've done the same thing with me. You've just dug in and said, I'm doing this work. I mean, you never missed a session, not one. And there were times that I knew you wanted to because you were tired or give out or, you stayed in constant contact with me. So you were always, if you were struggling, you always made a point to reach out so that it didn't get sideways for 5 days. And then it's like, oh, I need to fix this, So you're really, really good at keeping that line of communication open with me. And I think we solved a lot of problems. I mean, in that time frame of really, really elevating healing in your life and what that looked like for you. So that brings me to what happened in your chest. So tell everybody, I mean, I've mentioned it before, but let's let them hear it from you. Like, what happened there? I have my own, by the way.
So last December, I noticed, like, while I was on the Taxol, that I was getting, like, the skin was starting to break down. It looked like I had a sore, but very, very small. And then as the weeks went on, it was getting bigger. And my oncologist really didn't know what it was. The scans didn't make any mention of it.
It was on the sternum, by the way, everybody, just so you know.
So I had gone to my plastic surgeon, and his theory was that it was a dead tumor that was breaking down, and now the cells were trying to get out of the body. And the radiation oncologist agreed when I went to him. But as the weeks and months went on, the wound just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Then it finally got to the point in March where it was so big, and I started to get low-grade fevers. So then I took it upon myself to call a wound doctor. So I called the wound doctor, and as soon as I went to him, he debrided it. He took cultures, and he wanted to know why I waited so long and why an oncologist was trying to manage a wound. And they weren't really managing it. They weren't doing anything. They just assumed that the chemo would eventually close it up.
Yeah.
But that wasn't happening. So I went to the wound care doctor, and then he recommended hyperbaric oxygen chamber, which it does work, but unfortunately for me, I couldn't tolerate it. I was getting severe panic attacks. I only tolerated 4 days in the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, even with Valium.
Well, so I want to talk about this because 2 instances of you being a boss. First of all, saying this is not working for me. The care that I'm getting is not moving. And let's be crystal clear for all of you that are listening tonight. We're not talking about like a little open sore. We're talking about a wound that the first time she showed it to me, I was like, oh my God. I mean, okay, we need to, and I told her, I said, we need to go to work now on helping your body learn to heal. It needs to learn to heal. And so we were doing that with diet. We were doing with mindset. It was all hands on deck for helping that wound close. And so we were in a conversation one day, and I think we were just talking about like what to do next. And I think you said, maybe I should find a doctor that, like can look at it. And I was like, yeah, let's, do that. And so so you were totally the boss in that situation, saying, I have a problem, I need a solution, instead of just leaning in and going, oh, I trust my oncologist that they know what they're doing. Your sixth sense said no, that mindfulness inside of you said, no, I need something more. And that's when it really started to change and your body started to heal. So the second part of that is in the hyperbaric oxygen, which I have to tell you, with her and helping her through that was torture, because it was torturing her being in that enclosed environment. Although we all knew it would help. We were like, just try, but it wasn't happening. But she was also the boss, even with me, because I was like, Jenn, you can do this. I was really encouraging her to keep going. But even with me, she was like, no, I can't do this. And she knew what her limitations were. So she was really the boss in that situation and putting her foot down. Second or third part of that is that her body, even under duress of treatments, is healing. And the wound is all but closed now, right? I mean, it's
just a little bit open. Nothing it was.
She had a goal of it being closed, without it being completely open, because it was large, and it being completely open. She had a goal of it being closed by summer. And so we were really like all hands on deck, like helping that happen. And it was amazing when it started closing, how fast it like happened. I mean, she was sending me pictures and I was like, holy crap, it just was changing all the time. It's still changing, and it still has a ways to go. I wouldn't say a long ways, but it has a ways to go to heal. But watching her body heal, having that ability to heal that wound, even under the duress, because you even had some low blood count days in there. Like, yeah, I mean, it's been amazing to watch that progress with you. So, and watch you heal your body. And, this is what we talk about a lot. And you let me know if I'm on the right track with you, but it's not just about healing your physical body. It's about healing your life. I mean,
yes.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And how does that affect your family, like the people around you?
Everyone is always positive. Well, because I portrayed the positive energy also, so they're all positive. But my 11-year-old every day says, Mom, did you do your meditation?
I love it. There she is. There's that beautiful girl right there.
So even today, I was at my sister's in Long Island, and the kids finally got out of the pool and went in the house because it was too hot. I laid on the cabana in the backyard and did my meditation outside by the pool.
Yeah. It really is. And I mean, the reason she says, Mom, have you done your meditation? Because she can see the difference. Mm-hmm. She wouldn't do that otherwise if she didn't feel that energy shift in you. So, and for those of you that don't know, all my clients, I write a specific visualization for them and their healing process that I ask them to do every single day. And Jenn's been out of the program. How long have you been out of the program?
Since May, I think.
Yeah. So you've been out for quite a while, mm-hmm. and you're still finding value in that mm-hmm. meditation. So I even listen to you guys' meditation every once in a while. And because sometimes I think maybe I should tweak that a little bit. The other day, you and I were working on something in text, because once you're my client, you're my client. And so we were talking in text, and I had a moment of like, maybe I need to like tweak that for her. And I went and listened to it again. I was like, no, it's still all completely valid, for her. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but it's about that connection. And what about your husband? Because sometimes he's like, needs to do more. He needs to do this. How is that working out? I mean,
he stays on top of me. He, in the morning he makes my tea.
Yeah.
And asks me what I want for breakfast. He gives me my options. At nighttime, I drink my broth. So he brings the broth with the collagen in it.
I love it.
Even at my sister's yesterday, I was like, all right, what are we going to eat? And he gave the list to my sister to go to Whole Foods.
Yeah.
And he did all the cooking. Yeah. There was something for everybody. It's not, it's not like, oh, they were all enjoying food and I'm drinking broth,
Right. So you don't feel left out in those occasions.
No.
Yeah.
And when they have dessert, I'll have a fruit salad,
Yeah.
that's my exchange.
There we go. I love it. I love it. And it is about staying on top of those things and being vigilant with those. And especially sometimes when we get good scans, it's like, oh, I can, and you and I talked about this. I can kind of, I can celebrate or whatever. And you were like, no, it's back to work. Like I am going to keep doing everything I'm doing because it's working. So yeah, it's amazing.
Yesterday, Alyssa told me she was going to tell you on me because her ice cream was dripping. And I got on my hands and I licked my hand. And she said, what are you doing? You can't have chocolate ice cream. Tell Leslie.
She's like, yeah, you did that. That's so funny. I love it. I love it. That's amazing. Yeah. Is there a piece of advice that you would share with someone about coaching or about cancer or anything that you would share with our audience tonight?
Just with all the medical advances they're making, every day new drugs are coming out. You can't ever think like you're running out of options or that cancer is going to be the end of your life. Like I've been going to the same cancer center for 10 and a half years. I've seen nurses get married, have babies, become nurse practitioners. I'm like their tenant. Yeah. And you see people living longer and longer and longer with, with disease.
Yeah.
Like my first chemo nurse, I'll never forget the first day I ever had to have treatment after I knew I was stage 4. I was scared out of my pants. And she was 8 months pregnant, big bubbly personality. And she came and gave me a big bear hug. And she said, I want you to know you're going to be okay. This is not a death sentence. She said, look at this like diabetes or high cholesterol or high blood pressure. Yes, you have to take medicine the rest of your life, but you're alive.
Yeah. Yeah. And living
and the medications aren't so debilitating anymore as they used to be. I'm not gonna lie, at the beginning of this drug, I was down, like with the nausea and the fatigue, but I also had just had surgery also to remove my implant.
Yeah.
Ruptured. So
somebody was asking, did they ever figure out what the cause of and I'll be as bold to say that Jenn's doctors do not agree with me, but I have significant intuition that tells me that the leakage from the implant has a lot to do. Her skin was already compromised in that area, has a lot to do with the wound. And so it is not science. Nobody else agrees with me, but but I just have this very strong intuition that and we've been working on in her nutrition. We work specifically on helping her body kind of detox and roll some of that out of her body. So, and would you say that diet plays a big role in how you feel during treatments?
I think so, because I think if I wasn't eating so good, I wouldn't feel so good on these treatments, because the support group that I'm in for women on this drug, being hospitalized, who hasn't eaten in days, who can't get a drink down, losing weight. And I mean, I don't know what their nutrition's like, but I'm sure when I always post that I, change my diet and that's why I feel so much better, they start reaching out to me like, what are you eating? What are you doing? Maybe I should change my diet. Who do you use?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it's just absolutely amazing, the progress and the work that you have done healing your life. The ultimate question is, would you do cancer coaching again?
Yes, definitely. 100%.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, there you go, guys. One of the superstar cancer bosses that I have the privilege to work with. And, Jenn's story is not the exception to the rule. She is not a unicorn. She's an amazing woman and I love her and she is precious to me, but she's not a unicorn. She's the truth. She's the availability that all of you that are dealing with a chronic cancer diagnosis have available to you. And so don't dismiss what mindset and what diet, what roles that those play alongside. She and I were just talking before we went live tonight that how important it is to pay attention to what your medical doctors are doing, but also to be the boss of the situation and pay attention to what your body is asking you for in that healing. Because I know for a fact that when Jenn came to me and when she left, that she was in control, she was in charge, and she knew that this was not her destiny, and that even instilling a possibility and even a probability that cancer is not her destiny, and that one day she will get to come here and tell us that she doesn't have cancer anymore. And so that's just a matter of time, in my opinion. It's not if, it's when. And so, yeah, and watching her grow into that, because I think that was something you were a little scared to say, even when we first met. You're like, well, I just want to keep living, you know? And I was like, what if you didn't have cancer anymore? And you're like, what if? Can I do that? You know? So yeah, they get a distinct possibility in the path that you are, and as quickly as you're healing your body. I think it's amazing. So
I appreciate that the oncology team and my oncologist, they said, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because it's keeping you strong during your treatments.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. And they're not quick to say that when does with nutrition. They're not quick to say, yeah, stick with that because it's working. So yeah.
Because they're giving you the ham and cheese sandwich in the chemo room for lunch.
And I just had a client that was offered a chocolate Hostess cupcake in the chemo suite. And she was like, are you kidding? She said it was so hard not to go off on them and be like mad. She said, I was like, you can't change the situation, so you have to change. I mean, that's what I teach. She's like, do that, do that, do that. Just because she was so.
I pack a lunch bag now when I go for treatment. That's why I'm not tempted by anything.
Yeah. Well, total inspiration. Thank you for coming here tonight and sharing your story with us. You will always inspire me from the bottom of my feet to the top of my head. I am truly, truly honored and inspired by you. And I appreciate you coming here and being willing to do this live with me on camera. So yeah.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited about it even. Yeah.
Anyone has any questions or needs to vent, they could always just private message me.
Yeah. Well, and if you want to type in some questions here, I'm going to take Jenn off camera for just a second and give you guys a special offer. So give me just a second. I'm still learning my way through the studio. So I have a special offer in Jenn's honor and in Jenn's success. I want to make a special offer to you. If you have been contemplating coaching sessions and you've been wondering if cancer coaching is right for you, and Jenn's story inspired you to make that first phone call with me. Oh my God, it sounds like I feel like I'm on a telethon or something. That's not what that's supposed to sound like, by the way, but it's true. If that's the case, then I want to make a special offer to you. If you want to book a call with me, that call is always free. So there's no catch there. That first call with me is always free to see if I'm a right fit for you, to see if you're a right fit for me. So if that's something that interests you, that is always free. If it ends up that you enroll in the program, then I am happy to give you a $200 discount right off the top of the program. And so that discount will be available to you. What I need you to do is when you book that call with me, and I'm going to drop a link there, when you book that call with me, just in the comment section, type Jenn, Genn, type Jenn, and Jenn, type in Jenn in the comment section, and I will know that you came to me through this broadcast, and I will offer you that that discount right up front. So I'm going to leave a link here tonight for you to be able to do that. Again, if Jenn's story inspired you, please feel free to book that call with me. The first initial call, you can ask anybody who knows me. There is absolutely no pressure. I am not trying to sell you anything. I am trying to understand if I can help you. If I can help you, I will make an offer to do so. It will always be at your discretion if that's something that you want to continue on with or not. So it's always up to you. I do not bother you. I do not keep calling you. I'm not emailing you every day going, hey, what's up? Are you going to come in? Are you going to come in? I think in 2 instances I've done that. And that's because I realized that the person, I could help them, and I knew 100% that they would benefit and they ended up becoming clients. So But that is not my normal process. I am very transparent. I am here to love you and serve you through the process. So if that interests you, I will leave a link here for you to book that call. Just scroll through the comments and leave that. And I'm going to bring Jenn back in and see if there's any questions. Hold on just a second. If you guys have any questions for Jenn, I am happy to, well, she can see the comments as well. So a lot of like true inspiration and amazing comments about your journey, Jenn. So yeah. Anne Marie says, I was offered a hot dog during chemo. I can see you have a lot of people, a lot of friends here today too, huh? I love it. Yeah, that's hilarious. Oh, look, Tammy's saying, my oncologist is totally on board eating 90% raw. I need help with mind and meditation, right? I hear you. There are tools, there are skill sets that are available. Jenn touched on them tonight. There are skills and skill sets and tools that are available that I work with my clients with. Aw, look, who's Lauren to you?
Oh, that's my cousin.
Hi, cousin Lauren. I hear about you guys all the time. It's so awesome to have you here. And Jill is saying, love this story. Hi, Jill. It's good to see you. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Love your attitude and accent. You sound like home. Oh, I love that. That's an awesome thing to say, Laurel. I love that. Yeah. Anne Marie saying you're an inspiration. She is an inspiration. Kathy, there are a lot of people here that I know that they needed to hear your story tonight, Jenn. And so it's so wonderful that you were here to share that with them. So let's see. Yeah, Donna's saying she's fighting with the mindset. I don't see, there we go. Congratulations, Jenn. Stay strong, right? Yeah. Will I get the discount if I made an appointment after watching? Yes, Julianne, I will honor that. Remind me in our conversation, though. Yeah, remind me in our conversation. So look at this. Janice is saying amazing resilience and grit from one RN to another. Yep. It's funny because I work with a lot of nurses and a lot of educators, and I have a theory about that. It's not because they get cancer more. It's because they know the benefit of help and somebody helping you through a process. They understand that, that's beneficial to one. So yeah. Here, let's do this. All right. Laurel is asking, Jenn, did you do any special products or take any supplements for hair loss? The doctor doesn't think I'll lose mine. Thick curly hair is thinning. 4 months of treatment, fourth month of treatment. That's pretty good, actually, Laurel, for 4th month of treatment. You got any tips for her there?
So when I was on Taxol, I lost my hair pretty quickly, but I also was not taking any supplements except collagen every day. And also a tip though for the Taxol to avoid neuropathy is to ice your hands and feet 15 minutes before the Taxol infusion begins, all the way through the Taxol infusion, and 15 minutes after it's over.
Good tip.
And I never had any neuropathy.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's a great tip. Jenn and I had an extensive conversation about collagen, and I started doing some research on collagen for keeping blood counts higher. And so some of you that are using collagen, and you work with me, just know that Jenn was the one that instigated that. And so I did a ton of research. I talked to my mentor about it. I talked to several oncologists. And I know a lot of you are benefiting from that. And you feel like that the collagen is kind of what helps with some of your hair growth and keeping your nails healthy. And also you feel like that it affects your platelets as well.
Like with the Taxol and those drugs, it was really holding my platelets like close to the 90s.
Yeah.
90,000, which is okay for me, but this drug, I can't. I mean, 45,000 is my baseline, but I'm asymptomatic, but I think it's definitely helping. They probably be lower.
I would agree that it also helps with your energy production. I think it's helping you convert energy really well, which collagen is really good at doing. That's why it affects like our skin and hair, because they're fast growing cells, and anything that affects the fast growing cells in the body helps with that energy production. So yeah, I think that's amazing. Yes, please do, Laurel. I would love that. So I recommend the Vital Proteins brand. That's what you use?
That's what I use, the blue one, right? Yep.
Yeah, just the plain collagen peptides from Vital Proteins is the one that I recommend. You need to be just a little careful with it, however, if you've never taken collagen before, because it can be disruptive in the digestive system initially. So just be aware of that when you start taking it. So yeah. Terrence is saying everybody's talking about the horrible. We need to do like a whole show on like terrible things that they've offered you in chemo suites. That would actually be a funny show to do. It is terrible. I decline, Terrence said. I decline. Yeah. Mary's asking about vitamins. Not a huge supplement fan normally.
Yeah.
So the diet that I recommend is always working on getting all the nutrients that you need. Sorry for the noise. That's my husband's air compressor. And so, but that should give you the information that the body needs through the diet that I recommend. So yeah. Yeah. And then, Deli Lee's asking, I think you're talking about the collagen. It's powder form and you take it in liquid. Yeah, there's some instructions on there. So you just need to be careful initially with it. Go slow. All right, so I'm going to put a link in. I'm going to share that with you guys, and then the information about booking the call. You get that $200 off initially of the program. And yeah, so I hope that this served as an inspiration for you. Again, Jenn, thank you so much. You know, this is like total virtual hugging. And one day I'm going to get to actually squeeze you. So it's hard. So be ready.
I might show up in your pool one day. Watch out.
There you go. I know. I'm waiting for that. Bring that mermaid tail. Her daughter has a mermaid tail that I saw in a picture yesterday. So it's funny because when I'm with a client, I'm in their whole life. I mean, I see pictures and we talk about all kinds of things. And Alyssa had on a mermaid tail yesterday. I was like, where do you get one of those? I want one of those. That was amazing. So yeah. All right. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining tonight for the Cancer Coach Talks. Thank you, Jenn. Thank you to your family as well for allowing us to steal a little time from your evening. This will be available in replay, and it'll be available on YouTube, so you can watch it again if you like. If you need more inspiration, this is a good place to get it. So, all right, you guys, that's it for tonight. It's good to be here with you. I love you bunches. And remember, what's the saying, Jenn?
Cancer is not your destiny.
I didn't even tell her to say that. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.